fact. I think he divorced himself from the minister. I think that's true, but I also believe he started a fight today. I think we're going to, knowing what we know about Jeremiah Wright, he will fight back. He will have a speech later this afternoon. He will keep fighting this thing. He's a proud man. You might say narcissistic man, but he will keep fighting this. I think one thing that might come out of this that might help Barack Obama is that he will be seen in a verbal war with his former pastor, and he'll be on the side that is a more popular side in America in terms of the values questions here.
And one of the things he said was that, in his remarks, he said that what he saw yesterday did not reflect the black church. And if that is political posturing, which is what Reverend Wright suggested, he doesn't know me very well, and he said, based on what I saw yesterday, I don't know him very well either. I didn't know him very well either. So he really has separated himself in a way that he had not before. He had been marginally critical of the Reverend Wright, but up until now, this is really, as you say, a divorce.
He not only separated himself, he ridiculed. He said the words of his former pastor are ridiculous. When the former pastor, Reverend Wright, said that the United States government was responsible for disseminating AIDS in this country to cause a genocide of the African-American people, to equate, as the minister did, U.S. military policy in the world with terrorism, to say that Minister Farrakhan of the Church of Islam is one of the great people of our time. He clearly went point by point and said, I disagree with these views. They are ridiculous. I am not of this man's mind. My DNA cries out against this point of view. I think he created a 180 situation where not only did he separate himself with him, he has created this guy as sort of the alternative to him. So every time you hear the minister speak again, henceforth, and every time you hear his words repeated from the past, he wants you to hear this is 180 from where he is. So it will be a positive advertisement as far as Barack Obama is concerned. Now, every bad thing you don't like about this guy, Reverend Wright, you will say, well, at least Barack Obama is with me on that and not liking it either.
Jeremiah Wright was saying. You touched on the narcissism. How do you explain what Jeremiah Wright has done? What Barack Obama just said in his statement and in the questions and answers, in the answers to the questions, was that he doesn't have the right to take over this campaign for the last couple of days and distract the campaign from the economic problems, from the distress economically oppressed people now.
And you and I and everybody else in America is in some part trying to pick the next president of the United States. Either we're covering it, we're voting, we're following the debate, we're engaged in it. Everybody in America that cares about their citizenship is trying to pick the best possible president. In the middle of all this, this fella comes along and goes to Bill Moyer's show. He goes to the NAACP in Detroit. Then he goes to the National Press Club on some sort of tour to bring attention to himself and his radical views. And to a lot of critics of Barack Obama who want to use him in that way, he becomes a surrogate, a negative surrogate for Barack Obama. He had to divorce him as a surrogate. If you listen to him today, he said, henceforth, don't call me to account for anything said by this man. He is not my man. I am not his man. We are separate entities. We have real damage between us, which is not going to go away for a while. At some point in the future, I may speak with him again. It's that direct. He also separated his wife, Michelle, who clearly is his partner in life, from this minister as well. I thought for a while, like a lot of people, perhaps Michelle had a closer relationship with the minister, and it was more difficult for her to break with it, having been married by this fellow, having your children baptized by him, and perhaps having a close relationship with this minister. But she, as he said today, and we have to take his word on this, of course, that both Michelle and Barack Obama are breaking, it looks like permanently, from this fella, that they've been